Okay, thank you for waiting. I'd like to welcome everyone to MS CRM Add-ons Telephone Integration webinar. My name is Clint Higley, and I'm the Technical Support Lead for MS CRM Add-ons US. This office covers support and service for the US and Canada. What I'm going to present today is a more technical, in-depth look at our add-on telephone integration. Telephone integration add-on connects your phone system with Microsoft Dynamics CRM by offering click-to-dial functionality for outgoing calls. It also recognizes incoming calls and displays the details of the caller within a pop-up balloon. The balloon provides various other functionalities to enable simpler and more efficient call handling. Following this 20 to 25 minute presentation, if there are any unanswered questions, we'll take some time to answer them. That being said, during the presentation, I would like to encourage you to type your questions into the chat window where one of my team members will give you an answer. All right, so let's talk a little bit about how telephone integration works. So when we make an outgoing call or receive an incoming call, telephone integration resolves the number within CRM. If a match is found, depending on your settings, it'll open the contact information and create a new phone call activity in Internet Explorer. On an incoming call for which the number is unknown, you can configure telephone integration to create a new phone call activity and either open a new contact, account, or lead record. The telephone integration client is responsible for the dialing, answering, and resolving numbers and creating records. It acts as kind of the interface between your phone system and CRM. The support interfaces, the interfaces that we support are Skype, OCS, Lync, and Tappy. We also offer a simulator so that you can test functionality of telephone integration or just demo the system when you don't have access to one of the 4 interfaces. And today for this, I'll be using the simulation for most of this webinar. The server portion of the add-on handles like all the server-side configurations in CRM, such as click-to-dial functionality and licensing. Okay. So now that we kind of understand how telephone integration works, let's going to show you a few real-life examples. We'll take a look at what happens when we make an outgoing call from a contact record in CRM using the click-to-dial functionality. Then we'll also make a call using the TI balloon and see what happens on an incoming call from a known number. Another great function of the TI balloon is that it can make lookups for phone numbers, names, and accounts and show their related records. So I'm going to switch over now to the demo machine and go ahead and bring up CRM. Let me go ahead and maximize this. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to choose one. This is Adam Carter, and this is his contact information and contact record. Now, to make a call from the contact, basically what I need to do here is come up to the More Commands, and you'll see here I have call number. Now, if the user has more than one number, what I can do is click here, and then it gives me an option to dial either his business or mobile phone number. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and take his business phone number. And as you can see, what happens is the telephone integration balloon pops up and gives me some information and goes ahead and makes the call. Let me go ahead and there we go. There you go. So now it's dialing out. Okay. And when the call is connected, what I see here is it generates a new phone call activity for the record for Adam Carter. Now here I can put in a subject basically about what we talked about or what I'm calling him about and just add a description. Now this is just basically standard CRM stuff, so I won't go into great detail on that. So let me go ahead and hang up this call. And now we'll see what happens when I can basically, I'll dial here from the telephone integration balloon. Now, just let's say, for example, you know I know I want to call Adam again and say I don't know his number, so I'm just going to do a lookup for his name. And it's pretty simple. You just type in the name and hit enter. And what telephone integration does is it brings up the contact information for Adam Carter, plus any other related records related to the name Adam. So I know this is Adam who I want to call, so I'm just going to go ahead and call his mobile phone number. And I just click it to dial. And now telephone integration is dialing out. And what I get is a pop-up with Adam's contact information on it. Also, it creates another new phone call activity where I can enter basic information about the phone call and then save it back to Adam Carter's contact record. So that's the example of making 2 outgoing calls. So let's see what happens when I do receive an incoming call. So I'll go ahead and end this. And I want to close down a balloon because I do want to show you this functionality. Now I'm going to bring up my simulator here. And go ahead, and I've got a number already in here. And I'll go ahead and call in. So what happens now is I'm getting an incoming call, and it's showing me that I have 3 different records associated with this telephone number. So I don't really know who's calling yet. So one of the great things about telephone integration in this balloon is when I go ahead and answer the call, the balloon sits and waits for me to kind of figure out who is on the line. So let's see. I know that this is going to end up being Michael. So I just go ahead and click his information. And it pops up the contact record for Michael and creates a new phone call activity, again, where I can enter all the information. So it's pretty simple, but it's just a really powerful tool that just kind of allows me to do all this. All right, so I'll go ahead and end this call and close this down. So that's basically showing the incoming and outgoing call features. Let me hang this up. We'll go back to our slides. Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit about some of the additional features that come with telephone integration right out of the box. And to me, one of the coolest features of telephone integration is the campaign activity integration, or power dialing. This allows you to set up dialing lists, which you can assign to users or teams, so that when they start telephone integration, it tells them they're part of a kind of a power dialing list. The user can then select the list that they want to work from a menu, and I'll show that in just a moment. With telephone integration, you also have the ability to view the call history. It can tell you things like if the call was outgoing or incoming, how long the call was, and several other things. This information is stored in CRM so that you have the ability to run reports against this data. Lync-Chat integration, this is great for our Lync users, allows them to track Lync conversations in CRM, such as the chats that you do in Lync. You can also do several other things, such as create new cases, leads, or contacts right from the chat window. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and bring up the demo system and show you the power dialing feature. Now, I do want to show you the pop-up balloon, so I'm going to go ahead and exit out of the telephone integration client and go ahead and restart it. So that you can see down here in the corner, the telephone integration client is starting. And I get a little pop-up balloon that says I've been assigned to an auto-dialing list. So I can go ahead and right-click on it and click on this predictive dialer here. And basically what I have here is I have a predictive dialing list that I've been assigned to. Now, let me go ahead and show you how I created that really fast. So let me go in here. It's marketing, and it's a marketing campaign, basically. So I've set up a marketing campaign about calling about upcoming webinars. Okay. And inside this campaign, I have an activity about calling about the telephone integration webinar, which we're doing today. So let me go ahead and open that. Now you can see here, this is basically just information that I put in here about call about the upcoming webinar. Now this is really important because in the description field, and when I bring up the auto dialer, I'll show you why this is important to go ahead and enter this information. So you can enter this in like different questions, maybe what you want the people who are making these calls to kind of ask, maybe give them some direction on how to what to do when a customer answers one way or another. The other thing here that's added here that's not standard that we add here with the telephone integration add-on is you just go ahead and enable this to be a predictive dialer. So I've set this to active and given it a list. Now down here, you can actually tell the client that we're gonna do something called enable automatic dialing. There's a pre-processing and a post-processing time, and you can set those to say, like, for example, if you want somebody to have a pre-processing time of 30 seconds, you can go ahead and set that here. For the purposes of this demo, I'm not going to do that, though. So let me go ahead and I'll close this down. And I'll bring up this list here. I'll go ahead and start it up. Now, this is basically what your users are going to see when they start into an auto-dialing list. Basically what we have, I'll start up here. This is just basically the contact information of basically who we're calling. This here tells us that we are in the pre-processing time, okay, which gives us some time maybe to just kind of read over some information about the client. Also, as I said before, in the call description of the campaign activity, it's important to you can just basically add descriptions, and you can open that up on the side here and see, this is where my description shows up. So I've put in a couple questions here about what I want people to ask when they're calling these people. So this right here basically tells us how many total calls we're going to be making that are in this list. This tells us how many calls are left. So we kind of know how many calls have been made just by looking at this. The claimed calls is like, say if I have this assigned to several different team members, so, it tells me how many calls are claimed, or basically how many people are working on this call list at this time. So I've claimed one call. If I had, say, 2 other people that were working on this, and they were working on this list at the time, they would also have claimed calls, so it would show me as my claimed calls as being 3. So let's go ahead and call Antonio, and we're just basically going to call him up. Okay, and we'll just basically kind of go through the questions. So I'm asking Antonio the questions, and let's say that, for example, he's not going to be joining us, so I'll go ahead and hang up. This will bring me into the post-processing time, where I have 3 different options to choose from. So since Antonio is not going to be joining us, I'm going to go ahead and mark that call as failed. Okay, so once I do that and mark the call as failed, then I get the next customer, Britta. I'll go ahead and give Britta a call real quick. And let's say that Britta is very excited about coming to our webinar and wants to know some more information and wants some help. So we've gone through all that. We're going to hang up, and I'll go ahead and mark this call as successful because the call succeeded. Then it brings me right into the next one. So that's basically there's for your people that are using this, there's no choice. It just brings up it goes right into the next call. So I'll go ahead and dial here for Adam. Okay, and let's say that I do get Adam on the phone, but he can't speak with me right now, but would like to speak at a later time. So one of the great features about this is I have here the rescheduling. So I'm going to reschedule this call for another date. Let's say that Adam wants me to give him a call tomorrow at 12. All I basically do is come in here to I select the 14th, and I select the time, 12 o'clock. So I go ahead and save it. Now it does go ahead and put me right in the next call, but the one thing that I do want to say is now that call that I made to Adam, it's put back into the queue, and when tomorrow at 12 o'clock rolls around, it basically kind of bumps Adam up to the front of the queue. Okay, so that call is made right then when it was rescheduled to give him a call back, and that's pretty much the auto dialing feature in telephone integration. So let me go ahead and close this down. I'll go ahead and detach myself from this list, and I want to go ahead and show you the call history feature. So all I have to do to get to the call history is just right-click on my telephone integration icon and go ahead and bring up the call history. Now, again, all this information is stored within CRM, and it basically gives me a rundown. I can select, if I want the last 30 days, last 3 months, I can select all that. But it tells me the incoming and outgoing calls that I've made, what time I made them, the number. Here's the direction, whether they were incoming or outgoing, how long the call duration was. And the interesting thing is also this originated from. Now, this originated from is basically, that's when I use the click to dial feature within CRM. Not only can I use the call from contact records, but say I have a case and I'm calling someone from this case, from the support case. It'll show up here and show me the record that I called it from. It'll show me the support case and basically who I called to. Now with this information, you can take that and again, you can run several different, you can run reports, you can run things like that since all the information is stored within CRM. All right, and last but not least is the Lync-Chat integration. So this is my Lync-Chat integration window. I've got several different, it's just like in Lync, it shows basically all my contacts here. And let's see, so I've got a Lync-Chat from Michael, so I'll go ahead and accept that. And it pops it right into the window. And Michael's asking me if I'm available, and I'll just let him know that yes, I am. And what can I help you with? Great. So I've gone ahead and written Michael back. Now, one of the nice features in this is that it basically shows me the records that are related to Michael here within CRM. I can go ahead and click on this, and it'll go ahead and it'll bring up Michael's contact information. Also, another thing that's really nice that we use a lot is I can, if someone does a Lync-Chat with me and I need to open a new case for them, from here I can go ahead and then create a new case. Let's just say that I'm not going to create a new case now. Right now, what I want to do is, just because I had this chat with Michael, I want to save it to his contact information in CRM as a chat. So I'll just use this little button right here that says create a new chat. And then the history of a chat and basically everything that we talked about is saved within the description field. And then I can, it's just then related to Michael Dorr, and I can mark this as complete, and I have this within CRM. So it's just another way that any type of communication that you do with Lync, you can easily take that and put it right into CRM. There's no copying and pasting or opening, opening other things. It just does it all automatically for you. Okay, great. Let me close all this. All right, now I want to take a little bit and talk about installation and configuration. The server and the client are basically just simple MSI installations. That means basically that all it is you download an executable file and run it, and it basically does all the work for you. You don't have to import any solutions or anything like that. It's basically going to do all the work for you, so since it is a managed solution. It's quite simple to do. The installation time basically on the server takes usually about, I'd say 10 minutes. That's with installation and configuration, and the client takes about 10 minutes per client. After the installation of the client and server, with just a couple of little options that you can configure, which is basically like this, talking about like balloon behavior, like what you want to happen with the incoming calls and outgoing calls. You're ready to go. So it doesn't take long before you're able to make calls. The one thing I do want to say again is there's several ways that TI can interface with your phone system. If your PBX provider has a TAPI driver, you can use that TAPI driver in order to make the interface between CRM and your phone system. We also have Skype integration. We still support OCS, and we have the Lync integration. These are really simple to basically install. It's for example, like for Lync, I just set 2 check marks, and it's good to go. The one thing that I also do want to say is that you can use multiples of these. Like for example, like I use Lync and Skype for mine. I use Lync as my default, and I use Skype kind of as a backup. So I can run the Skype wrapper, and I can also use Lync. So you can use multiple. You could do a combination of all 4 of these if you'd like. So that's pretty much it for installation and configuration. All right, I just want to take a couple seconds and talk about the future of telephone integration. One of the things that we're doing is we're doing a redesign for the UI for CRM 2013. One of the nice features is the Lync-Chat integration, which is going to basically be right there in the balloon, as you can see from the picture. You'll be able to kind of like see all your messages and make your do all your chats and everything like that and control that right from inside the balloon, and also make all your calls. Another thing that we've been asked by several customers is make improvements on call history to simplify reporting. And that's something we take requests from our clients really seriously, so that's one of the things that we're working on. We're also extending the list of compatible providers, mostly in the realm of voice over IP. So you'll see us being able to support more voice over IP instances. So I do want to mention that we do have a trial that's available. It's a 14-day trial. There's no limitation on functionality, and we can extend the trial on request. These slides will be available for download after the webinar is complete. And I have been recording this, so you'll be able to go back and just kind of play this through again if you'd like to see it again, or maybe like touch on something and that I went through kind of quickly. I'd like to thank you for joining me. I'd also like to invite you to join some of our upcoming webinars. I think the next one that we're doing is on Documents Core Pack. That will be in December. You can find us on the web always at www.mscrm-addons.com. You can chat with support live if you have any questions for telephone integration. You can find that link right there on our webpage. And another thing that I do want to point out is I think we have a really great blog that kind of gives, like, that answers a lot of questions, that provides some different tips and tricks and on how to do things with telephone integration. What you'll find is that if you have some questions, a lot of them can be answered just by reading some of the blog articles that we put out there. Our contact information for the U.S. and Europe is down below. Like I said, if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to contact us. So I'd like to thank you all for joining, and I'm going to open it up and see if there's any kind of questions or anything like that that we still need to answer. Let's see here. Let's see. One of the questions there in the chat, and I can go ahead and take that one. If there's any Mac options, no. Unfortunately, we only support it's Windows-based. It's all Windows-based. There are no Mac options or any other OS. I'm sorry about that. What is the time scale for the redesign? Let me have to see. Hang on one second. It's probably going to be about 1 or 2 months before that redesign is complete. It's being worked on right now, and it's kind of in the middle of testing. So